told you that just in a few days, a SpaceX rocket will slam into the moon at more than 5,500 miles per hour. And no, this isn't science fiction. This is expected to happen on August 5th. Not a spacecraft that's landing, not a mission that's gone wrong. An old Falcon 9 upper stage that successfully completed its mission months ago is about to end its journey by crashing into the lunar surface. When it impacts, scientists expect it to excavate a brand new crater, launch nearly 800,000 pounds of lunar material into space. And there's even a possibility that observers on Earth could see part of the event. But what fascinated me the most isn't necessarily the impact itself. It's what this tells us about the growing number of human-made objects we're leaving in space. Today I'm going to show you what's expected to happen, how I tracked this rocket myself, and why this story is about much more than one object hitting the moon. So let's take a look. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Amanda Fetch, aka Dr. Amanda Analytics, and welcome back to Tech AI Space MI. This is where we explore the biggest stories shaping artificial intelligence, space, and emerging tech. And more importantly, why they matter to us back here on Earth. So I first came across this story while reading an article on spaceweather.com. And in that article, it was reported that an old Falcon 9 upper stage is expected to impact the moon on August 5th at approximately 6:35 UTC. Now the impact will occur near Einstein Crater. Now this isn't a failed mission. This rocket successfully completed its job after launching Firefly Aerospace Blue Ghost lunar lander earlier this year. Now since then, it's been traveling through space, and now its mission is finally coming to an end. Now I wanted to know, where is this rocket right now? So I tracked it. One of the public tools that I use is n2yo.com. And so this site lets you follow satellites, spacecraft, and rocket bodies using publicly available orbital data. Now the key to finding any object is something called the NORAD Catalog ID, sometimes called the NORAD Cat ID. So think of it like a unique license plate for objects in space. The Falcon 9 upper stage for this mission is publicly listed under NORAD Catalog ID 62719. Now once you know that number, you can simply go to n2yo.com, type the catalog ID into the search box, and open the matching object. Now that brings you to a page that looks like this. Now I checked the data out today, which is July 29th, 2026, at around 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is the information you can see, which includes things like object's current altitude, speed, orbital period, and other orbital parameters. Now those yellow lines you see across the map show the object's projected ground track as it continues orbiting the Earth. Now I find websites like this interesting because they make space feel real. So instead of just hearing about a spacecraft in the news, you can actually watch where it is and follow its journey. And so as someone whose doctoral research focused on space situational awareness and machine learning regarding orbital debris and analysis, I find tools like this incredibly valuable because they remind us that these objects don't simply disappear after launch. So many continue orbiting for months or even years. And tracking them is an important part of understanding that space situational awareness and what's actually happening in space. So this is where things can get pretty interesting. So if you're hoping to see this giant explosion on the moon, fortunately, you're probably going to be disappointed. Or should I say fortunately for us here on Earth. The impact will occur on the moon's daylight side. And so that means any flash from the collision will likely be washed out by the bright lunar surface. So actually, some astronomers have never convincingly detected an impact flash on the sunlit moon, but scientists think we may have a chance to see something else. So when the Falcon 9 upper stage strikes the moon, researchers estimate that it will create a crater roughly 10 to 20 meters across. So as I stated earlier, it could eject nearly 800,000 pounds of lunar material into space. And so according to a recent research that had been done, the plume of debris could briefly rise above the moon's edge. Now, with that being said, if viewing conditions are just right, and with specialized observing techniques, researchers believe it may actually be visible from Earth. So some models suggest the plume could remain visible for up to 10 minutes. Now, if that happens, that would be an incredibly rare observation. So again, this is pretty interesting, and it's not just about that rocket hitting the moon. Now we're looking at the future of space. So every year that we're launching more satellites, more spacecraft, more commercial missions, and even more government missions than ever before, every one of those missions leaves behind something. Probably hardware, right? Now, with that being said, sometimes that hardware safely re-enters Earth's atmosphere. Sometimes it remains in orbit. And sometimes, as in this case, its journey ends in another place, right? Smacking right into the moon. Now, as my doctoral research showed, tracking these objects is interesting, but it's very important to us, again, down here on Earth, because the more crowded space becomes, the more we need effective space situational awareness techniques, the better and better tracking capabilities and smarter, more efficient ways to manage the growing population of objects orbiting Earth. So the Falcon 9 upper stage may be ending its journey on the moon, but thousands of other rocket bodies and satellites and debris are still orbiting around our planet right now. And that number continues to grow. So I want to leave you with a question. As humanity continues to launch more missions into space, should every rocket stage be required to have a planned disposal strategy? Or events like this simply part of exploring the solar system? So I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's fascinated by space. Now, with that being said, until next time, keep looking up and keep asking questions. I'm Dr. Amanda Analytics, signing off. I'll see you next time. Take care.